Good morning, my name is Rangga Revansa Ramadan and my number student is 24020204016. Okay, and today I would like to talk about practicality and Washback in language assessment. So practicality means that the test should or more practical. It can be less using of time when the test begins, or it can be tests that tests have already have the answer. And also it is easier for teacher to give points. For example, if imagine that in classroom there are speaking tests that will in classroom. So this students will perform on 5 minutes minimal. But in imagine that in the classroom there are 20 students, sorry, it will took 100 minutes and it took so long and not really practical for assessment. So speaking is not practical assessment, but because not only because it took long time, it took so much time, a lot of time, and also it's difficult to teacher give the points for their performance because their fluency, pronoun, and etc. for for your performance. And also there's difficult if there are two teacher because one of them will give you 90 points, but in other hand the other teacher will give you 100 point and it's different. So speaking test is not practical. The test that practical is multiple choice. Sorry, you can ignore the screen. Multiple choice practical test because for it is easier for teacher to give your point because they already have the answer. So it's easy, and also it's not took a lot of time maybe in classroom while doing together for 60 minutes is not a lot of time. So the test that not practical is speaking test because as I mentioned before, and the test that practical is multiple choice. And the next is Washback. Washback is such as a magnet that pull the whole classroom toward it because the student want to pass the test. The teacher want their student to succeed. The final test decide exactly what is taught and how students study weeks before the test even happens. In short, final test is what will be studied. For example, if the teacher will give information with to student about final test, which is it will be multiple choice or group speaking. So I will talk about multiple choice. So if the teacher give information final test about it that will be multiple choice grammar, the teacher will give lesson plan to student such as grammar or past perfect, past tense, future, continuous, and etc. And back and forth doing that until final test is begin. So and also same as the speaking, the teacher will give lesson plan about presentation, give argument or something like that. It is good, but it is good because if the teacher give the same as lesson plan with final test to our final test, it will be you pass the test. you will pass the test and with higher points because you're doing that all the time. But there are bad and good what is it tests, because if you using if the teacher using multiple choice grammar because and give you lesson plan about grammar, it's not related to the real world, and it's not good. It's not that good because in language assessment you should speak. You should speak. It's good, but not exactly. It's not priority. Okay. But in speaking, because you using a real world situation, performing something, present, while doing that all the time, and the final test you doing that also, it's good because speaking is real have a ability is related to a real world. So the bad washback for assessment is multiple choice, and it's good is speaking because it's not related, it's related just like that. So thank you very much, and